Hey yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're reacting to top 10 main character teaming up with a villain moment in anime. Obviously one of them is already Jiren and or not fucking Jiren, Frieza and Goku. It's probably gonna be the biggest one. What's another reason? Oh, what's another time somebody teams up? It could be Naruto and Sasuke because Sasuke was still a villain at that time, but it's not that. What's another one? That's another Naruto like team up. Okay, they got team up. The takedown. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's probably gonna come to me, but I just can't think of it right now. I don't remember who. But anyway, we better get right into it and let's go and just check it out and let's go. Oh yeah.
Here's something that I noticed in anime. It's the frequency of action anime to incorporate villain team-ups as they reach the end game.
Oh, that's right. Hunter x Hunter had
Turns out that one of the best allies you can have when everything's on the line is the villain that you beat an arc or two ago, or in some cases, about 10 minutes ago. Today's list, we're going to go through some of the best moments in anime where the hero teams up with a villain character. Let's start by counting down some of my favorite moments, and trust me when I say that these team-ups can happen.
You can use Obito, but
sometimes
I prefer
comedic,
like,
it seems. Before we begin, if you
Luffy did team up with a whole entire people.
Why don't I suggest something different and in kind? This play its magnet mount interests. Attack on for the best. In case the linked count shoots weak start.
I don't know, because I feel like he wasn't a villain at that time, you know what I mean?
I just love it when the ultimate rival slash villain of sorts in an anime turns up for the final fight and provides
I love how they run.
Obito's story has captivated me for so long, and seeing its conclusion and culmination in this change of heart and helping the heroes against the series' final boss did give me a lot of joy. It's a long story of vengeance, and it's all led up to this big redemption arc. I can understand. Team 7's time to shine and showcase the teamwork from the main trio we started with. It's been so long since we've seen the three of them fight together, and after multiple seasons, we finally see a more mature and complete version of it now. Obviously, I don't mind the fact that Obito got thrown in there because besides Sasuke, I feel that Obito is the perfect foil to Naruto, and he does belong in this final battle. Overall, it's a pretty cool fight. I may not be too high on Kaguya suddenly appearing out of nowhere and taking over as the last boss, but she did open up a chance for us to see not just Team 7 work together without outside interference, but also Obito's ultimate redemption.
Naruto. She definitely does have some good moments, but Obito is my favorite character, so.
Yes, it's the finale of Bungou Stray Dog's second part, giving us the much-awaited team-up.
I was going to watch this, so hopefully they don't spoil anything.
Atsushi
but if it is happening, it happens.
I feel that this fight straddles the line between a villain team-up and a rival team-up, but I think that Akutagawa is firmly on the antagonist side early on anyway. Regardless, I think that I couldn't have asked for a better way to finish the anime. It's a pretty cool team-up between the two enemies, and I like how, despite having to put their differences aside for this epic collision, both Atsushi and Akutagawa gave us no shortage of banter towards each other. Teeth-clenched teamwork at its finest, all while showing us that they should put their differences aside.
He can transform into a tiger.
Be the greatest dream team in the whole series due to how their abilities synergize with one another. Amazing way to end what I feel like is one of the most underrated action anime in the modern era.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm like thinking like
Inuyasha.
I'm trying to figure out like who's working with who. Like I'm thinking the golden guy was working with the tiger guy. I don't know their name, so forgive me. Oh, okay, but no, it was the other one. It was, that makes sense. He looked like a villain. I was like,
And Sesshomaru versus Naraku.
Nope, I think I read like a couple of the first chapters of Inuyasha, and then I just never.
Inuyasha and Sesshomaru have a complicated history, to say the least. Most of it has to do with Sesshomaru's sword obsession, but let's just say that for the most part of the series, the two have barely seen eye to eye. They've also given us some of the most iconic early-day Inuyasha battles, with them trying to one-up each other in techniques and sheer power in their alternate forms. However, the brothers are apparently not too against teaming up once in a while, especially when a much bigger threat looms on the horizon. Enter Naraku. In fact, the action climax of the final Inuyasha arc involves a battle against Naraku where the Inuyasha party teams up with Sesshomaru himself, rough edges and all. It's been a long character arc for the latter.
Like, I know they're brothers, I know they're demons, like, I know basically everything about Inuyasha.
Side by side for the action-packed finale of the series. And while I won't say it's the #1 best battle in the series, it was still a joy to watch.
It's like I know the history of them. Is this another? I thought it was another Inuyasha.
Following that, we have Inuyashiki and Shishigami teaming up to stop the Meteor. Ever since the start of the Inuyashiki
I've heard about this. I just not I don't want to watch it.
Two ideals embodied in two bodies that are so physically contrasting. Inuyashiki and Shishigami have been at each other's throats for as long as I can remember, and they very clearly illustrate the two ends of the spectrum for people who've been empowered by circumstance. However, when news of an incoming Meteor collision hits, Inuyashiki finds his strongest ally in the form of his mortal enemy. Yes, it was Shishigami who comes to his rescue, proposing the most outlandish proposal of self-destructing and sacrificing himself for the good of mankind. The scene makes for one very emotional ending to see that towards the end, the slightest hint of heroism still gets awakened in the mercurial youth, and the constant clashes between the two superpowered people manage to bring out the good in someone.
Oh, okay, I think I didn't show that.
Envy and Edward Elric had a rough first meeting. They never really saw eye to eye with one another, even putting him in position to finish our hero. Former enemies would be forced into temporary alliance when circumstances land both of them inside Gluttony's subspace. Inside the stomach of another homunculus, the two, along with Ling, get forced to temporarily team up. After all, no one wants to die, right? And at that point, they've only got each other to rely on. So, as you'd expect, the alliance was short-lived, but for that brief moment, it feels surreal to see Edward work so well with someone who nearly killed him not too long ago. I'd also like to believe that it was this brief moment of teaming up that played a part, no matter how small it was, in Envy's final realization that leads to his eventual demise. His death in front of Ed is a powerful moment in the show, and I'd like to think that this temporary alliance with a human helped push him to the brink of his breakdown. In death, he sees Edward no longer as an enemy to kill while he delivers his tearful goodbye.
Oh shit, I forgot about Eren. I forgot that Eren teams up. That's weird because they didn't do anything. That's the only problem I have. Like,
Eren and Zeke form one of the more unlikely alliances in Season 4 of Attack on Titan. Yep, you heard that right. Eren, the protagonist of the series, spends time working in tandem with the much maligned and utterly despised Zeke.
It's funny how most of these villains are kind of like brothers.
Right. However,
like,
for someone who's
like secretly they're like brothers, so
to the whole thing, this unholy alliance may not be that surprising after all. As we've known now, spoiler alert, Eren's not the most by the book and heroic protagonist in anime, and given the developments in the last season of Attack on Titan, I doubt you can even call him that description in the slightest sense of the word. The alliance with Zeke would not make sense on paper, but after going through the series, it did start to make sense. However, this isn't as glamorous of an alliance as you'd expect. We can tell that it's a more manipulative relationship, whereas it's people using each other to further their goals. It's a long-term play for selfish goals, but it is what it is. Instead, we
I just think Eren was going to betray Zeke. You know what I mean?
Action, and
I don't think they was going to work together, to be honest.
I feel like Gintama as a series is one of those shows that revolves heavily around the past. His long-standing rivalry with Takasugi has been well documented, but do you remember the epic time when they fought together against another face from the past? Yes, Oboro
I haven't watched Gintama, so
ambushing the tired Gintoki and Takasugi after they had one of the greatest fights the series has given us. The actual team-up between Gintoki and Takasugi is rather short, but with epic moments like Takasugi repaying the favor and striking down Oboro's eye, is length really an issue? As much as Gintoki and Takasugi can passionately fight against each other, they can also form a very powerful combination when fighting alongside each other. Given the condition of both men when Oboro arrived, I doubt that they could logically win the match on the spot.
I don't get how he's doing all of that with a wooden sword.
Gamui and Gargura joining the party was just the icing on top of the cake.
Jesus
At number 3 is Hisoka teaming up with Gon and Killua.
No. I just don't like Hisoka. Hisoka's a weirdo. I don't like him.
Did I hear that right? The
and then that position is just looks more scarier.
With our good guys? Yes, it really did happen. And of course, it's not on the battlefield. However, would anyone have expected this surprising team-up of epic proportions to happen in a dodgeball match? A very high-stakes one at that, too. Greed Island provided us a lot of memorable moments, and I just can't F with Hunter x Hunter. Much tried to beat each other to oblivion in Heaven's Arena team-up to play ball feels amusing. They also work surprisingly well, given that they're enemies and all. Well, I do believe that your greatest enemy or rival does have a tendency to be the person.
Maybe the plot is alright. Like I understand, like it's for the plot, but
on another note, this is Hisoka's best memories with friends.
It's just
as
not.
Some people say. With how the scene was presented, we could come up with innuendos all day and the like, and that's something quite funny yet a bit sad at the same time when you step back and think about the implications of the scene. Second place is Luffy and Crocodile teaming up during Impel Down.
I mean, they teamed up, but then they really did not do.
If you still remember, Luffy had one of the worst beatdowns done at the hands of none other than the nefarious Crocodile. The two had a series of battles for the ages, and once everything was said and done, it's really hard to envision Crocodile as an uneasy.
I don't think I finished what I was saying about.
I mean, he didn't even have the cool rival
Hunter x Hunter, but it's alright.
Who turned so good have. Still, there's nothing too impossible when our characters have their backs against the wall. This gets proven true when Luffy once again encounters Crocodile. Despite the former's hesitation, Crocodile gets freed and helps lead a breakout of Impel Down. It probably turned out to be one of the best decisions Luffy could have made in that arc. The idea of him fighting alongside the hated villain is cool enough, but his newfound ally proves his worth in several ways. Now I say that because
I just like how a
good amount of time protecting Luffy from the wrath of both Akainu and Mihawk, and not just Luffy, he even saves Ace as well. Who knows what would have happened if Crocodile hadn't been on the good guy's side in that arc.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know he did that. I forgot about that moment. Yeah. Obviously we all knew this was gonna be number one. I didn't even know Crocodile really did all that. I forgot he did all that. Like saved
Coming at the top of the list is Goku and Frieza versus Jiren. Among the Dragon Ball villains, Frieza is probably one of the most iconic ones out there. There are a lot of other iconic enemies of the Z Warriors there, but when it comes to a personal connection with Goku, few come close. I say that with prefacing that I meant actual.
I mean, he also worked with Android 17.
So Vegeta kind of gets a pass on this one. However, as the video has taught us time and time again, all it takes to get the most bitter of enemies to team up and show the world what they're capable of if they stop bickering is an even bigger enemy to battle. Enemy of my enemy is my friend, as they say. I don't know about you, but I get the impression that seeing Goku and Frieza work together in Dragon Ball Super does feel like a culmination of a childhood fantasy to some. Imagine spending your time watching this very epic.
I just don't really care about Goku and Frieza. I really don't. I don't think Frieza was the best villain even in Dragon Ball Z.
The battles come down to
villains. I mean, Frieza's okay, but
grow his hair longer or throw in the most broken planet obliterating beams.
It was a cool team up, though. I definitely will say that, but it definitely was not a childhood fantasy of seeing those two work together. Yeah, like it just was not a childhood fantasy of mine to see them together. You know, like I never wanted them to team up. Honestly, I would be perfectly fine if Frieza just never comes back, but I don't know, he's here to stay. I don't know, they gave him the golden form and I was kind of like, why is he still back? We don't need him. Like man, I like new villains. I don't like the old villains coming back and then have something to do with the plot. You know what I mean? It's just like, all the new things are right, personally. But I mean, I didn't even like Super anyway. Anyway, what I was saying about Hunter x Hunter, it's okay. But it was so, I can understand it maybe if I was like younger, like if I was like a newcomer to anime, I could definitely understand why you would watch Hunter x Hunter, right? You get what I'm saying? I don't think it's for somebody who has already watched anime for such a long time. I guess it was good for it at their time, but it's, I don't know. For me, it gets a C or it gets a B minus. Personally, for me, it's just not okay. Like I just don't really enjoy it. I think it's overhyped. I think everybody overhypes the shit out of it. Personally, I just like, it's just ridiculous to me. But I don't know. That's just me. So, I just think it's overhyped. It's not that fucking great of an anime, but everybody want to overhyped it. Anyway, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Oh, comment down below your favorite villain and your favorite main character of any anime. Peace.